Oh, I got a story to tell you. I got a story to tell you. First of all, I was at my sister's house. I spent the night yesterday and came back today. I got an Uber. Um, he looked like 27 years old. I got in the car and he was all nice and sweet. I automatically saw the little rainbow wristband, so I knew he was bi or gay. I don't care. I don't care. Um, he started talking. Just all the way home, talked to talk. We had a good long talk, and it was like God put me with him to help him. And I told him, God, I thought my life was bad. He told me lots of things. Biggest thing he told me was like within 2 minutes. He says he is HIV positive. I didn't freak out. I was like, I let him talk. I sat there and just let him talk. I don't know much about, you see, he said it was a mild case of it. He takes medication to, and I was sitting there just listening to him, and he told me he was bi, and I listened, and he talked and talked and talked and talked, and I just sat there and listened, and I almost went into tears. I asked him if he was a Christian. He said he was, and he talked about, his dad being a pastor, and he was kicked out of a church for being bisexual or bicurious, and that's when I got pissed off. I started just fussing, and he kind of like giggled, not giggled, but laughed, like, because I was taken up for him. Nobody should be denied the Word of God. Nobody. Not a pedophile, not a gay or bicurious or a lesbian. Anyone who wants to hear the Word of God should be invited into that church to hear the Word of God. No one should be denied. If that is the Lord's house, that's the Lord's house. But he was kicked out of that church. That church is not a church of God. That church is not God's church, not God's home. But he told me a bunch of things, and it's very upsetting. So when I finally got home, and I asked him, can I touch his shoulder and pray for you? And I prayed for him. And, God puts people in people's lives for a reason. Now, I'm not much of a, people person, but when God fills you and pulls you and makes you feel, I did. He needed, but the thing is about the HIV, he didn't tell anyone except his one friend and me. Didn't even tell his ex-wife, didn't tell any of his family members. He told me that me and one of his friends know about his HIV. Can you believe that? And I told him, why don't you tell your family? It would be a good idea. But then he was like saying, it's not severe. When it gets severe, I will tell them. I don't want them to worry. And I was like, okay, trying to be helpful. But I prayed over him when I left, when I got out of the car. And I told him I accept who he was and keep on being him. Well, him. It's a shame. Like I told him, I was really pissed off, and he saw it. When he told me he was kicked out of that church for being bi or bi-curious, or I just lost it. I said, well, that's not God's church. That's not God's home. If someone's going to kick you out of that church, that is not the home of God. But anyway, quite a few Ubers I've had in the past, and a lot of people tell me really personal stuff. Like, I think I told you that story about the woman, Uber girl, that told me that her son was in jail for murder, and there was a bunch of other stuff that other people's told me. And I'm like, why is everybody, why, sometimes I don't understand, but maybe God's put me in with them to help them. Cause what else is? I mean, I just it was overwhelming today. And I did pray for him. I asked him if I can touch his shoulder and pray for him, and he said thank you and God bless, and I hope things go great, and yeah, ask God to heal him from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, and it's just really sad. It breaks your heart. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all, and for anyone who feels a pull to help someone, don't ignore it, okay? Because a lot of people out there need that. They need someone to pray for them, or be there for them, or talk to them, or even listen to them. It's amazing.